alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Eman Barakat, and thank you so much for joining us with the Lighthouse Project and Ramadan Gems. This has been such an amazing opportunity to get to see you guys once again during the month of Ramadan. And so with that being said, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the blessings of Ramadan, one of being the fact that we are able to make endless dua. And I think that we should definitely learn from the prophets dua from the Quran, because that is such a blessing that Allah has given us. So we can not only imitate, but also learn from their du'as and implement it within our own. And so with that being said, I really wanted to learn from Sayyidina Ibrahim's dua in Surah Ash-Shu'ara, which is the 26th surah. He makes a dua from ayahs 83 all the way to 89, and inshallah I kind of wanted to talk about that. So with that being said, let's just dive in. And so I will be reciting in Arabic, so please forgive me for mispronouncing anything. Inshallah, that is not my intention. And after that, inshallah, we're going to read the English translations. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Rabbi habli hikma wa alhiqni bis-salihin waj'alni lisana sidqin fil akhirin waj'alni min warathati jannati an-na'im wa ighfir li abi innahu kana min ad-dallin wa la tukhzini yawma yub'athun yawma la yanfa'u malun wa la banun illa man ata Allah biqalbin salim. In English, it says, "My Lord, grant me wisdom and join me with the righteous. Bless me with honorable mention among later generations. Make me one of those awarded of the garden of bliss. Forgive my father, for he is certainly one of the misguided. And do not disgrace me on the day all will be resurrected. The day neither wealth nor children will be of any benefit. Only those who come before Allah with a pure heart will be saved." So I'm going to go back to the very beginning, which is ayah 83. "My Lord, grant me wisdom and join me with the righteous." We should always be able to ask for knowledge and wisdom, because that is what makes us among the righteous. It is very hard to be among them without knowledge, right? You need to know more about your deen, more about the Prophet, more about Allah, more about the Quran, and more about yourself as well in the world that functions around you, right? You need to know more about the creation to know the Creator. And then it's the English translation says, "Bless me with an honorable mention among later generations." And this is kind of how we know that this dua was successful, because subhanAllah, Sayyidina Ibrahim is not only mentioned within Islam in the Muhammad generation, but he's also mentioned with among the Jews and among Christians as well. They're all considered to be under the umbrella of Abrahamic religions, right? And subhanAllah, he does have an honorable mention within all three. And later on, it says, make me one of those awarded the gardens of bliss. And alhamdulillah, this has also been proof of the fact that this has been a successful dua, because Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he went to Jannah for Isra and Mi'raj, he also saw Sayyidina Ibrahim. And so this also shows that, again, that this is a successful dua, alhamdulillah. And then he starts talking about his father. "Forgive my father, for he is certainly one of the misguided." And subhanAllah, at this time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had told Ibrahim to no longer make dua for his father, to be among the Muslimin. And so with that being said, Sayyidina Ibrahim asked for his father to be forgiven, considering that he could not be among the guided. And this just shows you that anything that Sayyidina Ibrahim wanted for himself, he wanted for others, in particular about his father. And I think this is something that we should learn to do within our dua, not just to make dua for ourselves, but to make dua for the ummah, and to also make dua for your parents and for others. Again, to have that sincerity, you want to have, or you want to make dua for yourself, but also for others, the things that you do want for yourself as well. And then he says, "Do not disgrace me on the day all will be resurrected." And so to this, in regards to this, Sayyidina Ibrahim is taking accountability to the fact that he is delivering a message, and that there are responsibilities with prophethood. In the day that neither wealth nor children will be of any benefit. And again, this goes back to the fact that he knows something about the Day of Judgment. He has some kind of knowledge about it, but also the fact that he cannot help his father and all of those, people who used to make the idols in his tribe, that there will be nothing that will help them, essentially, right? So this goes back to also adding information about what you know and what you're asking for into the dua. So he's asking for the day of the judgment, and for him to not to not get disgraced. And he's also asking for Jannah, but he's also mentioning the information that he does know about the Day of the Judgment with that. And then he starts, and then he asks And then he says, only those who come before Allah with a pure heart will be saved. And so I want to kind of leave you guys with this. What is a pure heart to you? Think about what it means, and then how can you actually attain it? And again, you could also learn from what a pure heart is, subhanAllah, within these ayat, within this surah, and within the Quran. And so I want you guys to ponder over that for a little bit and make you among those who have a pure heart. Ameen. And Jazakallahu khairan for listening, and I hope you guys have a blessed Ramadan.